Ben Davison, subscribe to Stephen Icons.
Right, so Eddie Hearn has said that as much as he, Joshua and Tyson Fury would love to make the fight between Joshua and Fury, it's quite difficult to make. And this is what Eddie Hearn had to say. Everybody wants to see Tyson Fury back, and I believe we'll see him back. Like I said in interviews last week, we're ready to make the fight. It's not a fight that's made over social media, it's a fight that's made in the boardroom. It's tricky to make because it's a voluntary defence for Anthony Joshua. But yes, it's a voluntary defence against a contender in Tyson Fury that is a former champion that does have a huge amount of value in the fight as well. We're ready to make that fight, but when you're in fights like Joshua against Parker, there's no point talking about Tyson Fury and overlooking Parker. That's something for the future if Anthony can be successful on March the 31st, of course. But we have to deal with what's real, what is available, and the ultimate plan for getting Tyson Fury is to win every belt. So that's Eddie Hearn's statement. Right, so what he's saying is then, realistically, until Tyson Fury is back, there isn't too much point talking about him. And Joshua's plan for this year anyway is to grab all the belts, and that means beating Joseph Parker on March 31st, and hopefully Deontay Wilder grows some nuts and actually drops his 50-50 demands and makes that fight for undisputed. Again, if he was to get past Luis Ortiz, obviously it makes things a little tricky if Luis Ortiz was to beat Wilder with Luis Ortiz currently suspended by the WBA. So even if he was to become WBC champion, would the WBA sanction a fight between him and Joshua? Probably not. But of course, if Luis Ortiz was to beat Wilder, I'm pretty sure that there'll be a rematch clause in there anyway. So he may have to have a rematch against Wilder. Now, again, the biggest obstacle will be not the fact that he wants to make the fight or Frank Warren wants to make the fight if Tyson Fury was to sign with Frank Warren again, or not the fact that Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury want the fight. It's about finding the middle ground. And of course, Tyson Fury has said that he wants 60% and all that kind of thing. And to be fair, okay, he's not champion anymore, but he is undefeated and he is a lineal champion, and being a lineal champion does hold value. And of course, he's the man who beat Vladimir Klitschko first. So until these two have a fight, there's always going to be this argument between Joshua and Tyson Fury fans as to who's going to be the best. But if Tyson Fury does go with Frank Warren, it does cause an obstacle between broadcasters. And Adam Smith pretty much admitted that he wants Sky to show this fight, not BT. So again, it's one of those situations. I mean, could they do a co-promotion? Unlikely, to be honest. It's very, very unlikely. Why would Sky give up ground to BT? Now, yes, okay, so they share certain things. So if there's a big fight on BT, then Sky will have the option to also have the subscribers purchase it. And likewise with BT, if there's a big fight for, and I say for example, Joshua versus Parker, if you're not a Sky subscriber and you're with BT Sport, then there will be an option somewhere where you can still watch that fight via the pay-per-view. So there are options, but when it comes down to who shows the fight live, that's going to be the issue. It really is, because Sky doesn't have to give up ground. Sky are leaps and bounds ahead of BT Sport right now, and with all the fights or events that have been cancelled last year and already this year in January, of Frank Warren shows that are not going ahead, and some of the shows are, to be honest, not very good, not very appealing. BT will not grow as quick as what they'd like to be. So again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that I want Frank Warren to make more of an effort into building the BT brand for boxing, because that puts pressure on Eddie Hearn also to make better fights, to try and stay ahead, if you like. So who benefits? Us, the fans. We will benefit, of course. Now, this fight will be pretty much dependent on the broadcaster situation. It's not just about the fact that Tyson Fury says he wants 60% and Joshua isn't going to give him that. I mean, Tyson Fury is entitled to a very large share. There's no doubt about it. And of course, he's bringing something to the table, which is popularity. And he's bringing eyes to the TV. He's putting asses on seats, if you like. So what kind of percentage would it go on? Well, it's hard to say. Maybe a 50-50. Who knows? Maybe 60-40 in Joshua's favour. Now, I know Tyson Fury is saying 60% in his favour. Listen, he's not being serious, okay? He's not being serious. Okay, he's saying this because he knows that Joshua has Parker next, and the likelihood of him facing Joshua next just isn't going to happen. It just isn't going to happen even after Parker, because Tyson Fury has said himself he needs a couple of fights to get back into the rhythm of things. As much as confident that he could be, and all the trash talking that he does, when you sit down behind closed doors, he knows he needs a couple of fights before he gets in there with Joshua, or Wilder, or Luis Ortiz, or Parker. Okay, he needs a couple of fights. And that's what I believe he'll end up doing. So, while all this talk about Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, like I said, first things first, Joshua can only be thinking about Parker right now, not thinking about Wilder and what's going on with him, or what's going on with Tyson Fury, or what's going on with Dillian Whyte, or anybody else. He needs to focus solely on Joseph Parker, just like Joseph Parker needs to focus solely on Anthony Joshua. It's all very well me, you, and the promoters talking about these as of what they are right now. They're fantasy fights, aren't they? So while it's fun to talk about, the reality is this fight isn't going to happen. In my opinion, I don't believe it's going to happen even this year. I mean, it may do. It may do. But if it does, I don't want to see it any sooner than the end of the year. Fact being, because I don't want Tyson Fury going in there after being out for, what, 2.5 years, and then getting blasted out because he hasn't got back in the rhythm of it. Now, I know his training, his style is natural. He doesn't have to work on that. He just needs the motivation, which he has, which Ben Davison is bringing back to him because he's young and enthusiastic himself. And, of course, the fitness here, and the weight is dropping off. Within 8 weeks, he's dropped 4 stone. And I think he's got about another 2 stone, maybe 3 stone to go. And he's looking to make a comeback in April anyway. So, yeah, for me, I don't want any kind of excuses from Team Tyson Fury or Team Anthony Joshua as to why each of these guys, or one of these guys, was to lose. Maybe Anthony Joshua took too much time off. Maybe he fought not enough tall opponents, or anything like that, okay? I don't want any excuses if Tyson Fury beats Anthony Joshua. Likewise, if Anthony Joshua beats Tyson Fury, I don't want any excuses. Well, you know, I was out the ring for too long, I didn't have enough fights. No excuses. So that's why minimum, end of this year, I'm talking November, December time, but it would be better if it was summer 2019, providing, of course, both of these guys stay undefeated between now and then. But either way, we'll have to wait and see what happens with all that. So for now, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. I'll catch you next video.